I want to come back, go back into your resume a little bit because you were very involved as well with the gay men's health crisis.
Yes.
And as we see here, and which is a human right in the world, LGBT rights are also at risk in many countries in Africa, in India, all over the world. And you've worked in Uganda in particular.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit what is at risk for these populations now, and what work is the American Jewish World Service doing to address and help these groups?
Well, thank you so much for asking about this, because it is one of the key areas in which we work. We work to stop violence against women, girls, and LGBT people in developing countries. And Uganda has been brought to the fore over the past many years because of the draconian anti-homosexuality act that was about to be passed, then was passed, and all of us have been following that with horror. We have supported local leaders, experts in the field in Uganda, who have fought against this abhorrent persecution and discrimination against sexual minorities in Uganda. And I'd like to tell you very specifically about a grantee that AJW supported. The organization is called Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is a part of the Ugandan constitution that actually stands for the rights of people to be free and to associate. And the organization was started by a gentleman by the name of Nicholas Opio. Nicholas Opio, together with many other organizations, worked very, very hard in coalition to fight for the human rights of LGBT people in Uganda. And in 2014, they were successful, due to the funding of AJWS and others, to overturn that draconian law. And they overturned it on a technicality, which means they didn't change the hearts and minds necessarily of the legislature or the parliament, but that law is no longer in effect. Are there potentially attempts to resuscitate that law? There always will be. Will we be always proactive and relentless in stopping it from re-emerging? Will we challenge it again if it comes up? We will, in partnership with these leaders in Uganda. So while the situation there, again, Magali, is difficult, is hard. I've been in Uganda recently, met with one of the leading groups there that we also fund, called the Human Rights Promotion Forum. Another remarkable man called Adrian Juko, who leads this organization. And when we were visiting, unfortunately, what happened was that the day after, just completely by coincidence, we heard that one of their wonderful young paralegal men was followed home from work, pushed into his home, attacked, raped, and all of his machinery from his work was young. So we immediately jumped in with those that we know in country and our amazing in-country staff person, and supported this young man and supported the organization. So this sort of is a little bit the course of business, doing business in the human rights field. You know, when you are working with human rights defenders who are people who stand on pedestals for me, I mean, they are people who every single day risk their lives to protect others. And what's particularly, I will say, moving about the two gentlemen that I've just been talking about, Nicholas Opio and Adrian Juko, is that actually both of them are straight. And they are committed to fighting for LGBT rights. Adrian says it so beautifully when he says, I do not want my two daughters to grow up in a country where one group of people is persecuted.